Hi there, welcome to Whiteouts. I'm Aaron White. This week I'll take a look back at last Friday's magnificent night of harness racing at Alexandra Park, where we had a fleeting visit from West Australia's best pacer Chicago Bull and Junior, that's Gary Hall Jr. with us, and they didn't let us down. Then I'll have a look at Tuesday's meeting at Manawatu to open the Central District's harness racing season for 2018-19. Then I'll have a look at this week's meeting at Alexandra Park, going through my selections for the 10 race program. The text around will be at the end of the podcast. Thanks for joining me.
The big Christmas do is coming to Cambridge Raceway on Wednesday the 28th of November and Thursday the 20th of December. Packages are available to the Skyline Lounge at $80 per person for a buffet meal, or the Alf Walsh Lounge at $40 per person for a summer barbecue meal. Packages include a race book, complimentary drink and dessert. Further information and bookings, head to cambridgeraceway.co.nz for the big Christmas do, November 28th and December 20th.
If you've been wondering where the party is, become a member of the North Island Harness Owners Association and you'll be able to find out. As a member, you're eligible for the North Island Owner of the Month award. Any member who owns or part owns a winning horse at Alexandra Park, Cambridge or Manawatu goes into the draw for a dinner for four at any of the participating venues. Syndicate members and Southerners who race horses in the North Island are all welcome to join. There is also an annual major prize draw and social events throughout the year. Membership is only $20 per person. For further information and membership forms, send an email to nihoaqueries@gmail.com. Why not become a member of the North Island Harness Owners Association today? Let's start by heading back to last Friday night's meeting at Alexandra Park. The feature pace was the Garage New Zealand Handicap over the 2200 metres off a standing start. It was billed as a clash of West Australia's best pacer Chicago Bull and last year's New Zealand Cup runner-up Jack's Legend, and it turned out to be a battle of epic proportions. Chicago Bull, having his first stand start in his career, canned away and added a conservative 20 extra metres to his already prodigious back mark of 20 metres over the short 2200 metre journey. On the other hand, Jack's Legend stepped the mark like a toff and had secured the lead within the first 600 metres of the race. With a lap and a quarter to go, Junior and the Bull had caught the main pack and started a run from the rear to get outside Jack's Legend as the bell chimed to indicate the final lap of the contest. That's when the battle really began. Heading past the 700 metre mark, Junior gave Chicago Bull a little bit more rein and he started to work over Jack's Legend through the back straight, and the pair of high-class pacers were stride for stride at the 400 metre mark. As they swung into the lane, Chicago Bull had taken up the ascendancy and showed all of his immense talent as he strode away for a 2.5 length success in a 1:57.7 mile rate, pacing his last half mile in 54.2 and final quarter mile in 27.2, leaving many race fans, myself included, in awe of what we'd just witnessed in issuing a statement to his New Zealand Cup rivals. It was the 40th career victory for the son of Bettor's Delight. Runner-up was Jack's Legend for driver Zachary Butcher and trainer Barry Purdon. He was game in defeat, and the stablemate Mark Shard was third, with Tony Hurley in the sulky. Unfortunately, on Tuesday, the news filtered through that the smart West Australian son of Bettor's Delight has been withdrawn from the New Zealand Cup through injury, so that's taken a lot out of the New Zealand Cup, with Chicago Bull not going to be there. I'm sure there's a few connections around the country breathing all that little bit easier with that unfortunate news coming through. The feature trot on the program saw Class Square Gators Temporale and Le Monde have to start off back marks of 50 metres over the 2 3/4 laps of 2700 metres. It was also the return of Heavyweight Hero, a trotter that in a limited career to date had displayed enormous talent. Heavyweight Hero stepped the tapes perfectly and found the lead in the early stages of the 2700 metre journey, with both Temporale and Le Monde making good beginnings and settling at the rear. Temporale made his move at the 1700 metre mark to get closer to the pointy end of the field, eventually taking up the lead as they swept across the showgrounds turn. Le Monde made his move at the 1250 metre mark and was outside Temporale with a circuit to run. As they approached the lane for the final time, Le Monde galloped and lost his chance. Temporale turned for home first, but it was evident that heavyweight hero Asana Muscle Mass was travelling better than him and soon had his measure and trotted away for a strong victory for trainer-driver Todd McFarlane in a 2:4.6 mile rate, home in 58.9 and 29.4 for the last 800 metres and 400 metres respectively. That was heavyweight hero's 5th career win in just 15 starts. Running on well to claim second was Heard the Whisper in the hands of Zachary Butcher for trainers Michelle Wallace and Bernie Hackett. Temporale did fight hard to finish third for trainer-driver Tony Hurley, just proving again how very hard it is to win off long handicaps at Alexandra Park in full fields, and it was still a commendable performance. 2 Sires Stakes heats over 1,700 metres were staged on the night, with the first heat of the Alabar series for the fillies turned on its head with the raging hot favourite Chevron Supreme galloping just prior to the dispatch point. As a consequence, Gibson Girl led out with the Orange Agent's half-sister Cheesy Fingers sitting on her back prior to a stirring stretch battle where Cheesy Fingers, the filly by Better Than Cheddar, just edged past Gibson Girl in the final stride for a nose win and to break her maiden status in a 2-minute 0.1 mile rate, covering the last 800 metres in 55.8 and the last 400 metres in 27.1. Cheesy Fingers was driven by Tony Hurley for trainers Brian and Gareth Hughes. Second was Gibson Girl, driven by David Butcher for trainer Steve Telfer. And third was Courtney Jane for trainers Logan Hollis and Shane Robertson, with Logan doing the driving. The fourth heat of the Macmillan Equine Feed Series for the Colts and Geldings was taken by the John and Joshua Dickey trained Better Start Dreaming with Joshua in the card. The son of Better's Delight kept 2 good second placings to open his career, with Friday's victory pacing a 156.4 mile rate, home in 55.4 and 27. Runner-up was Arden Voyager for trainer Barry Purdon and driver Zachary Butcher, and third went the way of the Ray Green trained and Andre Potama driven Make Way. Angus Berger, aided by a cagey Brent Mangos drive, returned to the winner's circle in a 2.6 mile rate for 2,700 metres, home in 60.4 and 30.7. It was the third career success for the son of Angus Hall, prepared at QMU by Ken Safont. On the cards, a son of Better's Delight, trained by Barry Purdon and driven by Tony Hurley, was always going to dominate his rivals back in company after a fresh assignment in the Spring Cup, and duly obliged comprehensively over 2,700 metres in a 158.8 mile rate, cutting out the last 800 metres in 56.4 and the last 400 metres in 27.7 seconds. The Lone Ranger proved his win at Cambridge a week prior was no fluke, with him doubling up with a tenacious victory in a 159.2 mile rate for 2,700 metres, home in 58.9 and 28.9. The son of Sports Rider was driven by Benjamin Butcher for trainer Steve Telfer. Mark Brad, a son of Mark III for trainer-driver Tony Hurley, raced out of his grade to break his maiden status on Friday night with an easy win over 2,700 metres in a 2.7 mile rate, home in 58.1 and 27.7. It was a well-deserved win after having no luck off awkward draws to open this campaign. First starter Bella Montana, driven by Zachary Butcher for trainer Barry Purdon, created a good impression when downing some nice maidens in a 2-minute 0.7 mile rate, home in 58.8 and 27.7. The daughter of Better's Delight is a 3/4 sister in blood to fabulous mare Carabella, and it turned out to be a very good few days for the breed, with the sister of Bella Montana scoring in the last race at Manawatu on Tuesday. The night was started with the former South Island Square Gator, That Girl Trouble by Superfast Stewart, providing trainer-driver Brent Mangos with a nice win, trotting the 2,200 metres in a 27.5 mile rate, with the last 800 metres in 59.7 and covering the last 400 metres in 28.9 on a night that was tinged with sadness for many of the Northern Harness community after one of the great followers of the sport, Jack Bassett, passing away earlier in the week, aged 89. Drivers of the night were the Iceman Tony Hurley with 3 wins and Mango Brent Mangos with a brace of victories. Trainer of the night was Barry Purdon, picking up 2 successes on the card, and the sire of the night was Super Sire Better's Delight with his 4 wins. Black Book is out of the meeting. Miss Blissful was good in defeat for her new trainers, Jason and Megan Tees, in race number 1. She won't be too far away from a maiden success, and Cowgirls and Angels made up nice ground in her debut appearance in race number 5. Christmas at the Races is one of the most popular events each year at Alexandra Park. If you're looking for a fantastic and easy to organise Christmas party with delicious food, stunning decor and entertainment, then look no further. Packages start from just $70 per person for one of our nights throughout the 16th of November to the 22nd of December. Head to alexandrapark.co.nz for further information and bookings for Christmas at the Races. Right, let's have a look back at Tuesday's meeting to open the new season for the Manawatu Harness Racing Club and the Central Districts Harness for 2018-19. And Blair Orange and Michael House, they started where they left off last season. They picked up 3 winners on the card. They got the feature race on the program as well with Franco Saxon. It was a good battle in the home straight with Got a Moment at Franco Saxon, the son of Live or Die, completing the 2,000 metres in a 2-2 mile rate home in 57.9 and 27.8. The first of the Michael House Blair Orange combinations to win on the day was in race 5 with Anna Barclay, the Better's Delight mare. She was a nice winner in a 2.2 mile rate for the mile and a quarter 2,000 metres, home in 59 and 29.4. And their second success came with the Stop It, and again over the 2,000 metres with this Son of Gotta Go Collector cutting out the journey in a 2.3 mile rate, home in 59.2 and 29.2. The season was started with Square Gators Dauntless, who brought a pretty handy record to Manawatu Raceway. Zachary Butcher doing the driving for Ted and Brett Edwards continued on his winning ways, picking up the success. The 11-year-old son of Pegasus Spur trotting the 2,500 metres in a 2.8 mile rate. Sold Invictus for Jay Abernathy, the trainer-driver, secured the second on the program over the 2,500 metres, wearing down November Guide in the concluding stages. 29.8 was its mile rate. Westburn Yield, and what was a cracking finish to the third on the program. 6 horses strewn across the track and little between all 6 of them. Westburn Yield, though, Alicia Harrison, Farana Donnelly getting the prize, a 1.5 mile rate for the 2,000 metres there. Bugger Lugs and the Blue Beat, well, they went to battle, literally, in the last 20 metres of the journey. The Blue Beat was set for victory, but she rolled into a gallop. Bugger Lugs came up alongside, nailed her right on the line, and then they locked wheels, and as a consequence, driver Peter Ferguson was tipped out of the card of Bugger Lugs. But he didn't mind, got himself back into the sulky, brushed himself off, got back to get the winner's photo there. Chris Webber, the trainer, 2.4.8 was its mile rate. And the last on the card went the way of Delightful Kaz, Jim Curtin, for local trainer and identity Stephen Doody. Delightful Kaz, the full sister to Belle of Montana, a nice winner at Alexandra Park last Friday night. And she picked up a very good win in a 1.2 mile rate home in 60.7 and 30.4. The second of the meetings for Manawatu will be staged on a Thursday night. There are some newcomers coming to the meeting too. I'd be looking out for the runners from the Kyle Marshall team. They have to be included in all your combinations permutations as we look forward to the second night of the new season for the Manawatu Harness Racing Club on Thursday night. Of course, you can get all of those selections, hrnz.co.nz. Join in the fun and race a horse with Cambridge trainer Anna Donnelly. Wildest Dreams, a filly by outstanding sire Mark III from Group 1 Queen of Hearts winner Wait for No One. Or Lanais, a filly by super sire Better's Delight out of 8 race winning mare Sadlicker Macy. 5% lease shares are available in both fillies for an initial upfront payment of $300 and then $125 per month thereafter. One share can be split between 2 people. You can also take more than one share if you wish. You could be at Alexandra Park joining in the fun at a small cost. Contact Anna Donnelly now 027 568 4088. Right, it's time to have a look at the selections for this Friday night's meeting at Alexandra Park. It is a charity race night dinner too in support of the Laura Ferguson Trust, a 10-race program. The first getting underway at 4 minutes to 6 o'clock. Double start on races 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. The trebles 1, 4 and 8. Early quaddie race 2. And the late quaddie starts race 7. Place 6 to start On race number 5. The first over 1700 metres, Macy Maguire's been racing well, comes up with a nice draw over the sprint journey. I think she's going to be a big player, Benjamin Butcher, for Steve Telfer. 4, A Due Flirt, first run in the north, was very, very good when runner-up. Jay Abernathy, the trainer-driver. 3, Corbeau, has come out of the Sires Stakes seat last week. Todd McFarlane for David and Claire McGowan. She can certainly get some of the first. And 7, Courtney Jane, was placed in that Sires Stakes seat last Friday night, an each-way chance for Logan Hollis. 1 to beat 4, 3 and 7, that will open a double and treble. Race 2 opens the early quaddie over the 2700 metres. 1, Viewfield Nat's been racing well, comes up with a lovely draw. The Magic Man Morris McHenry to do the driving. Anna Donnelly, the trainer, deserves a winning turn, and with the aid of Barrier 1, that can certainly come on Friday night. For the Persuader was a nice third over this trip last week. Tony Hurley in the sulky this week for Tim Vince. We put in the 6, Sugar Chief, should have taken good benefit from its fresh up assignment at Cambridge for trainer-driver Nikki Chilcott. And 12, Destined for Heaven, made up big ground last week off a similar draw. Logan Hollis along with Shane Robertson, the trainers. Logan to do the driving there. 1 to beat 4, 6 and 12. Race 3 on the card to open a double over the 2200 metres for the Square Gators, and with the John and Joshua Dickey trained pair here, All-American and Sex on Fire. Just going with All-American, of course, these two Square Gators did make it to Jules Day through their last season. All-American has been trialling up well, as to Sex on Fire, so not much between them. Put in the 2, Red Castleton, deserves a winning turn. The Wizard Todd Mitchell doing the driving again, and 11, Agostini, did blow the start last time, but the fresh up victory over tonight's 2200 metres was very, very good. 8 to beat 7, 2 and 11. So race 4 to open the middle treble, the Laura Ferguson Trust Mobile, this over the 2200 metres, with 8 Make Way, even though it's come up with a barrier 8. So Zachary Butcher, Ray Green was very good in last week's Sire Stakes heat, and albeit from a wide draw, I think he's still a major player. 5, Mark Brad, he finally got better luck last week. He did race in this company to break his maiden status, as you heard in the review. 2, Aha Reaction, was good winning at Cambridge after consecutive workout victories. And 3, Best Western, will be improved after her run in the Sire Stakes heat last week as well. 8 to beat 5, 2 and 3. Race 5 will start the third of the doubles and will also open the Place 6 competition on Friday night. With the Accelerate, of course, got it all wrong in the Sire Stakes heat last week when well supported. He galloped and was never a factor. He did place in the Sire Stakes heat at Cambridge. We let him have another chance this week. Number 1, Big On Personalities, opened its career with 2 strong placings, comes up with a nice draw. 2, Blazing River, also nicely drawn. Both runs in his career have been creditable. And we'll put in 4, Vespa. It was a sound enough debut assignment last week. James Stormont would have learnt plenty from the experience. 3, I'm going to make Accelerate my bet of the night again to beat the 1, the 2 and the 4. Race 6 for the Trotters over the 2200 metres. Again, a very nice field of Square Gators for a Friday night at Alexandra Park. And I'm going to give the Hulk a chance here. Didn't get all favours last week when working home well. Jay Abernathy, Adrian Matthews. So I'm going to give him a real solid chance on an each-way basis. 9, Sertorius, is back on a new campaign for John and Joshua Dickey. Has won in a fresh state. Raced well enough through his last campaign to be a major threat. 4, Ash, well, he's found his winning form with last ride victories in his last 2 go-rounds. Morris McHenry for Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett. He can certainly complete the hat-trick. And number 5, Majestic Ali. Thought her run last week fresh up was nice, and she would have taken nice improvement out of that as well. Todd Mitchell, another one there for Michelle and Bernie in the race. 10 to beat 9, 4 and 5. Race 7 starts the late quaddie and a further double. Paces over the 2200 metres and a very strong intermediate grade pace on the program. With 11, Check-In, Jack McKinnon, Steve Telfer. Raced very well through his last campaign, did make it to Jules Day. It's stablemate Triple Eight, albeit drawn badly. He's the sort of horse that goes back and finishes his races off strongly, so I'm not too worried about the draw around Triple Eight. 10, Red Reactor, was very good winning last time for trainer-driver Morris McHenry. And 12, Bequero, she's stepping up again in league on Friday night, albeit from an unruly draw. She is a major player again for Scott Phelan and Anna Donnelly. 11, Check-In, to beat the 8, the 10 and the 12. Race 8 over the 2200 metres for the Pacers. I think Bit of a Tiger can get a winning turn on Friday night. Peter Ferguson for Pam Turner. He has been racing well and comes up with an ideal draw for Friday's assignment. 7 Jack Tar hit the line strongly at Cambridge in its resumption for Nicky Chilcott. He'll only be fitter for Friday night. Where There's a Will, number 6, just a fair effort last time. A good maiden success prior to that. James Stormont and Cumu Kenny Safont. He can bounce back Where There's a Will. He's a nice enough type. And 3 She's Pucker got the lovely run with utilising some good gate speed down at Cambridge, which she can come off the gate again and find a prominent spot again for Joshua Dickey and Glenn Harwood, having her first look under the ribbon of light at Alexandra Park. 2 to beat 7, 6 and 3 in the 8th to open the final treble. Race 9 starts the final double over 2200 metres for the Trotters with 3 Sunny Pegasus. Both runs this campaign have been good and worked home solidly when fourth in his last start. The Chief David Butcher for James Stormont. Number 5 Prince George yet to run a bad race in his 4 outings this campaign for trainer-driver Jack McKinnon. 10 is Free as Air, a nice maiden winner last time. The mare by Auckland Reactors, she can certainly go on with it. Morris McKendry for Ross Painter. And 9 Little Bro. Well, he's found his form again, Little Bro. Scott Phelan to do the driving on Friday night for Barry Cullen. 3 to beat 5, 10 and 9. And in the lucky last, it is a mobile trot over the 2200 metres. My black booker from last week, Miss Blissful. Megan Tees to do the driving. Jason and Megan, the trainers, worked home nicely when runner-up last time. 2 Great Fantasies, been given a freshen up, has been runner-up 5 of its 7 outings to date. Kyle Marshall for Leanne Edwards. Put in the 8 Just Ricky, both runs in its career to date have been good. Scott Phelan for Matthew Pemberton. And we'll put in the 1 Stowe, aided by the Mobile and Barrier 1, the Wizard Todd Mitchell for Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett, and an each-way play from the inside draw. 3 to beat 2, 8 and 1. Best bets of the night, well, we're sticking with him in race number 5, Accelerate. We're going to go into race 7, number 11, Check In. If you're looking for some value on the night, the long shot, I thought Terrace-Cova, she's knocking on the door again. So into race number 3, horse number 6, Terrace-Cova, is well worth a couple of gold coins each way at healthy odds. Good luck with your bets on Friday night. If you've been wondering where the party is, become a member of the North Island Harness Owners Association and you'll be able to find out. As a member, you're eligible for the North Island Owner of the Month award. Any member who owns or part owns a winning horse at Alexandra Park, Cambridge or Manawatu goes into the draw for a dinner for 4 at any of the participating venues. Syndicate members and Southerners who race horses in the North Island are all welcome to join. There is also an annual major prize draw and social events throughout the year. Membership is only $20 per person. For further information and membership forms, send an email to nihoaqueries@gmail.com. Why not become a member of the North Island Harness Owners Association today? Christmas at the Races is one of the most popular events each year at Alexandra Park. If you're looking for a fantastic and easy to organise Christmas party with delicious food, stunning decor and entertainment, then look no further. Packages start from just $70 per person for one of our nights throughout the 16th of November to the 22nd of December. Head to alexandrapark.co.nz for further information and bookings for Christmas at the Races. And now it's time for this week's Text Around to conclude the Whiteout podcast. We start with President of the Auckland Trotting Club, Bruce Carter. He's in race 8 with a bit of a tiger. Our trainers and drivers, Adrian Matthews, race 6, the Hulk. Jay Abernathy's sticking with Soul Invictus at Manawatu on Thursday night, and Bill Haley, race 8, Friday night at Alexandra Park. Anna Donnelly couldn't split to Rockin' Chardon, race 4, and Bequero, race 7. Steve Telfer says race 1, Flying Steps, the best of his for Friday night. Kyle Marshall, Pembroke Charlie at Manawatu on Thursday night. Todd Mitchell, race 3 at Auckland on Friday, Red Castle. And Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett, race 6, Ash. Peter and Vaughan Blanchard, race 3, Agostini. Logan Hollis, Shane Robertson, race 2, Destined for Heaven. Morris McKendry's race 2 with the Viewfield Nat. Nicky Chilcott, race 8, Jack Tar. Jack McKinnon, race 7, Check In. Northern Workouts and Trials caller Cameron Shaw, race 2, the Persuader. And LincolnFarms.co.nz's editor Barry Lichter, race 4, make way. Don't forget to have a look at lincolnfarms.co.nz to have a look at all the news and views around the Lincoln Farms runners coming up this weekend. Well, that's all I've got for you this week on the Whiteout Podcast. I trust you've enjoyed the podcast. I've certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. This is Aaron White, out.